Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start. Welcome at our second attempt, once Helene delayed, kickoff and announcement of the partnership between Savannah neurology specialists and Georgia MemoryNet. I'm Dr. Ted Johnson from Georgia MemoryNet, and I'm going to introduce Leslie Holland from the Alzheimer's Association, who's going to kick us off.
Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for all coming. We are really excited to be able to officially ribbon cut here in Savannah. The partnership with both Savannah Neurology Associates and the Georgia MemoryNet is so important. With over 188,000 estimated people over the age of 65 living in Georgia right now with Alzheimer's, and the numbers rising. We've got so much work to do. We all do. And the fact that everyone is partnering to be a part of it is just such a huge thing and such an awesome thing, especially with the need for early diagnoses. We are finally in what we at the Alzheimer's Association call the era of treatment. For the first time ever, we have actual medical interventions that will clinically change the course of the disease, and that's huge. We have had so many years without that kind of hope. So as we work on these and we are trying to get treatments to people, it just increases the need for us to get people diagnosed earlier, and not only to get them diagnosed, but then also to set them on a path so that they can still live their best lives with dementia and Alzheimer's. So, Georgia MemoryNet and Savannah Neurology do so much to not only handle the medical diagnosis, but then to also, give families access to resources. And that's where we at the Alzheimer's Association come in, and it's just so critical for people on this journey. So I just want to thank everyone for this partnership, for being a part of it, for fighting for it, and for showing up for families, because again, the numbers are on the rise. The need for what everyone does is so important, and it's only growing. So thank you all so much for coming, and I will give it back to Dr. Johnson.
Thanks so much, Leslie, and thanks to all of the people that you brought from the Alzheimer's Association, not just today, but to the important work in Georgia. You've been great partners, and we thank you for that. I wanted to, there are so many people to thank. This is, Savannah Neurology Specialist is not new to your community. Georgia MemoryNet has been ongoing since 2016, 2017, 2018, with partnership from the Georgia Alzheimer's and Related Dementias Strategic Planning Group. There are folks in the governor's office who have been in support of this, folks in the House and in House of Representatives and also in the Senate who have been in support of this. There are people who helped start this journey that have actually passed since then. So this important work is enduring and it continues. I want to thank particularly Dr. Hemphill and Brittany, who not only do they have great work that's done in this community, but Brittany has carried that chair that she's sitting in back and forth 3 times since we've started this event, and so kudos to her. I mentioned that my name is Dr. Ted Johnson. I'm a geriatrician by specialty. I've been practicing in geriatrics since 1996. In case you don't remember the 1990s, we'll just do a little bit of a recap and review. When I first came into practice, I had a voice pager. I had a pen that I wrote in medical charts with, and also I had quarters in my pocket in case I was on call out of the house and I needed to use a payphone, which is a phone that is in grocery stores and gas stations that you put coins in and call back a number just in case. At that time, we were debating in the 1990s whether or not people who were undergoing a memory loss evaluation should have a head CT or not. That's kind of where we were in 1990, and I know Dr. Hemphill and others are going to talk about where we are today, which is a long way away from where we were in the 1990s, but also a long way away from where we were in 2016. So Time is now. I do want to thank former Governor Nathan Deal and the late First Lady Sandra Deal and former House Chair Terry England, the late Senator Jack Hill, who really took their personal experiences, their knowledge, and their partnership and outreach and created a program here in Georgia that, like I mentioned before, has been enduring. It's a privilege for me to have been working for Georgia Memory Net since the start. I partner with our program director, Dr. James Law, and also the Memory Assessment Clinic director, Dr. Chad Hales, who will be directly working with the Savannah group here in partnership. So today's a celebration of this partnership. The tagline for Georgia Memory Net is care, clarity, and community. So care, clarity, and community. And I think all those really hold true. The Memory Assessment Clinic being that place where you go for your early and accurate diagnosis and can avail yourselves to disease-modifying and effective treatments approved by the FDA. Again, as Leslie had said earlier, that's a game changer for where we are now versus not. This is a program that will not have much impact on bachelorette parties that come to Savannah, but it will have a lot of impact on the people who live in Savannah. So let me give you 3 thoughts before I close. One is that Georgia is actually a beacon for the nation. The program and the collaboration and the intention and the monitoring is recognized, and I have presented in Washington, D.C., in Seattle, and in Long Beach, California, specifically on the program, on the work, and on the partnership. If you think that people can come together who otherwise don't talk to each other, competing health systems, competing medical schools, private and public partnerships have all flourished under Georgia Memory Net, and it really results in a new standard for partnership and what we can do when we actually partner together. My second thought is the importance of this program to Georgia. This work in Georgia is profoundly meaningful, and it's hard. I just want to use that word hard for a second because some of the things that we're trying to do and attempting to do are going to take a lot of effort and energy. And so one of my colleagues at Georgia Memory Net, when I sometimes get stuck in the hard parts of this work, says, repeat after me, but the work is so important.
Yeah.
So repeat after me, but the work is so important. And that's true. The work that we do supporting persons living with dementia and their partners to navigate this most difficult pathway is significant and meaningful, and oftentimes hard. We want to help primary care practices identify persons who have memory loss that would benefit from an assessment, be referred to a memory assessment clinic, be given an early and accurate diagnosis, and actually connected with resources in the community, and potentially even treatments. So each diagnosis and each care partner supported and each connection makes a difference. So it gives people back time. It saves them from putting in their partner's symptoms into Google and hoping to get a good answer. So prevents unnecessary trips to the emergency room and to hospitals, and also avoids nursing home placement. My third thought is probably the most important one, in this work is local. So regardless of the great work that we're doing in Georgia Memory Net in Metro Atlanta on Executive Park Drive, what matters is actually the work that takes place in communities. And so that's why we're so excited about all these brick and mortar centers that are detailed on this banner, as well as partnerships with Georgia Department of Public Health for areas on this map that aren't filled in, where our people can have a facilitated video telemedicine visit. So this program and this partnership is for Savannah. It helps make Savannah a great place to live. It's for the people of Savannah. So I just wanted to finish again with that notion about local. Thanks to all who have come here. Thanks for the great work that's been done by Savannah neurology specialists today and backwards, and today and moving forward. Looking forward to a future where no one walks alone. So thank you so much. And Dr. Hempel, I may call you up to the podium, or we could just bring it to you.
My name is Michael Hemphill, and on behalf of the physicians and staff of Savannah Neurology Specialists, welcome. Glad you could come here today for this event. We are very proud of our connection with Georgia Memory Net and very grateful for the support that they have given us. And we're excited to see members of the community who are our partners in carrying out our mission of providing education and support to families, caregivers of their loved ones who have Alzheimer's disease. Tim, if you're going to go back to the 90s and start reminding people of what things are like, and we have a contest on that, I'm going to win.
Conceded.
I can easily concede it, yeah. No, I do remember, and for the course of my career, really, the treatment of Alzheimer's disease has been really one of what you said, and people say about neurology, diagnose and adios. We tell people, give people a label for their disease, but tell them there's really not much we can do for them and send them on their way. Now, I've always felt that a doctor and a prescription pad were really not the right formula for management of patients with Alzheimer's disease, but to be able to have a community where the medical and supportive services interact seamlessly and give patients the information they need has sadly really been lacking. So I think bringing everybody together here is very important in being able to rectify that. As Leslie said, we are entering a new era in the management of Alzheimer's disease where we can now alter the course of the disease. This gives hope to individuals and their families that they can continue their level of cognitive function and their level of daily function for a longer period of time than ever before because of these treatments. It's certainly not going to be the last word in treatment, but it is a very good start. And so with the professionals here at Savannah Neurology and the resources of Georgia MemoryNet, we're able to provide the expertise needed to determine who are candidates for these new treatments and to provide supportive help for those for whom the window of treatment has already passed. But while we can provide these initial assessments and provide disease-altering treatment, we cannot provide the long-term management for many people, and so we have to rely on our primary care and other community providers and services to get families the support they need. So we have to create a continuum for early diagnosis and treatment, which are now emphasizing more than ever because of our new treatments. We're here to try to provide that medical expertise and to carry out that treatment. But for the long road that goes afterward, certainly a neurology specialty clinic is not able to do that. It's very difficult for a primary care community to be able to meet that. So we have to be able to expand resources to support individuals and families, and we hope to continue to be a part of that for the long haul. Through our Georgia MemoryNet staff, we connect our patients and their families with these services to help them along the journey of care. The families, patients, and their loved ones, we're very grateful for the state funds that have been available to support Georgia MemoryNet and the skilled professionals that we can employ to carry out the mission in screening and supporting patients with these age-related memory disorders. And so we celebrate this occasion, our partnership with Georgia MemoryNet, our partnership with other organizations in the community, and what better way to tell it really than one of our patients who has been willing to step in today and just talk about his experience. He's going to do that right before he gets his next treatment at 1 o'clock, so that worked out very well. So who better to talk to you about that? So Mr. John Thompson will be coming up here to say a little bit about his experience with diagnosis and treatment of Alzheimer's disease. So Mr. Thompson, come on up and just say a few words. Thank you for coming.
This is going to be short and sweet. Kind of like me. My name is John Thompson, and I want to thank you for including me in the ceremony today. After my diagnosis last year, I began bi-weekly Leqembi infusions here at Savannah Neurology, and I agreed to be admitted into the Georgia MemoryNet program. I'm grateful to Savannah Neurology for their quick assessments and quick turnaround with my diagnosis. I look forward to the day where there is a cure for all dementia patients, and if my participation in this program helps in any small way, I'm glad I can be a part of it. Thank you.
That was twice as sweet as it was short. And I look forward to seeing you on the pickleball court. He and I were both talking about the fact that we came from tennis to play pickleball, and every once in a while after a beautiful swing, I realized that my paddle is about a foot shorter than where the ball was. And so the Thompsons and I both share that sort of experience. We do have a chance to open the podium. I'm taking MC license here and just offering, if folks want to come up and offer 2 to 3 minutes about the work that they do, the services that they offer, their excitement about the activity, the floor is open.
I'm a college professor, so I could take the rest of the day. So my name is Chris Rolwitz, and I own a company called Oasis Senior Advisors. But I'm also a volunteer with the Alzheimer's Association. And so not only do I help families at no cost to them find senior living options that best meet their financial needs as well as their care needs, I also run and facilitate 2 caregiver support groups, as well as now recently approved to be a community educator. So I'm also a certified dementia practitioner and do also train the classes for that certification. This is important to me. My grandmother passed away in 2013 from dementia. And I support my father-in-law in Augusta, who's doing with dementia with Parkinson's. So I left the corporate world to do this 2 years ago, and very, very excited. So happy to be here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexis Williams. I am the program manager for the Alzheimer's Association. And so for me, my job is to offer care support and education to those living with the disease and their care partners. We have a few of our volunteers here. If you could wave your hand. I am so excited and thankful to have them here with us today because they do a lot of great work in the area. As Chris mentioned, we do have 2 support groups here. We have one that meets in the early morning. We have a flyer. We have several flyers here that we will pass out to you all. And then we have another one that meets in the evening as well, just to reach those that are working and they need something later, or for those that can't do something later, we have something earlier in the day. So if we can ever be of assistance to you all, we would love to do so. We also have a virtual home safety caregiving workshop that is coming up at the end of this month. We have that flyer as well. It's going to be very short, very brief, but just to offer some awareness and give some tips for home safety, because we know as you are living with this disease, you never know. So just to kind of be prepared ahead of time. It's going to be given by a phenomenal occupational therapist who has certification with dementia as well. So again, please join us for that. We have that flyer, so we will make sure you all get that as well. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Alexis.
Thank you. I'll be real quick too. My name is Andrea Valdez. I'm the director of marketing for Your Family Hospice, but I am not excited about this because of that. I am a gerontologist by degree, so I have worked with aging programs for probably about 20 years, military, my husband from Baton Rouge to Fort Stewart to Fort Bragg. I've always been connected to the aging network. So I'm excited about this because I'm one of those people that the friends know, call Andrea. She'll know who to call. And this is something I am definitely going to be connecting people with, because there's a lot of people suffering in silence that just don't even know this is happening right now. So I'm just happy to be here to be able to share the information and get it out in the community so people know more about how to all of that.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Polotsky. I am the marketing specialist with Georgia Memory Net, along with my colleague Rosie, who's in the back row. We are the faces that show up when you say we need you in the community. We're the ones who hit the road, and we go into all of the counties around where not just our brick and mortar locations are, but our telehealth locations as well. The 2 of us hit the road. We visit all of the primary care doctors in that county. We visit the libraries and pharmacies and first responders, anywhere where we think they interact with people the most or where people tend to congregate. that's where we are. At this point, I think you know enough about Georgia Memory Net, but I will say if you would like some educational materials that you can share, we've got tons in the back on the table. There are also a lot of educational opportunities that we share on our social media and is going to be on our newly revamped website coming soon, fingers crossed. So we're going to have a calendar of events. A lot of those are webinars, so people can tune in from wherever. Almost all of them have on-demand replay, so if they sign up for something but can't attend the live demonstration, they can watch it later. We have opportunities both for patients and caregivers, as well as people who are in the field and need some further like continuing education credits and things like that. So lots and lots of opportunities to continue learning, continue partnering with Georgia Memory Net, and I have a pocket full of business cards. So if anybody wants to make some connections and invite us to their health fair or to speak at one of their caregiver events or what have you, just come grab a card from me and I'd be happy to work with you. Thank you.
An Alzheimer's Association community educator. I established a few years ago BJWW and Associates, and my journey has been a long one. My mother passed away from complications from Alzheimer's disease in 2016, and sitting in the audience is my father. And if we would have had the Georgia Memory Net when he needed it about 10 years ago, it would have been great. We have waited about this long to finally receive the diagnosis that he really needed, and now he can receive the care and support that he needs and deserves. And every time that I see the commercials on TV, I get really excited. I cannot tell you how excited I get about it. And the moment that I received the invitation to be here today, we packed, the three of us, my husband Wilson Molfolita, videographer, and all things as assigned, right, at home to make this possible in relation to really bringing the information to our community. So we recently, with his help, seriously speaking, established Your Brain Health. Is a YouTube channel that we want to use as a platform to communicate this type of information. There is so much information out there, and sometimes we just don't know where to start. You can hear an accent. Of course, I'm very passionate about taking this information en español a todas las personas que viven en el estado de Georgia, who also deserve to know what is happening and the services that are available to all of them. Thank you so much.
I want to endorse that thought and expand on it, and then I'll reopen the podium for a second. So yesterday, Dr. Gabriela Cohen talked about her work at the Atlanta Memory Assessment Clinic and doing all of the evaluations in Spanish as a native Spanish speaker, originally from Argentina, and with the help of folks at the front office, they can actually provide a entry to exit full experience in Spanish. If you look at the statistics that roll up for Georgia Memory Net since we've been doing this program, and you think about the usual programs not being available to people who speak other languages or have low resources or are from communities that are traditionally underserved, we're very proud that we're beating the demographics of Georgia in terms of our outreach to those populations. So I'm really proud of that part of Georgia Memory Net as well. I'll step back away for about 15 seconds to allow that last person who's waiting to come up here. And then we'll start talking about ribbon cutting. We were trying to get the pair of 4-foot-long scissors, but I'm afraid that our scissors are slightly shorter than that. Having handled the 4-foot-long scissors, they are a little dangerous, so I feel better about our shorter scissors. And then I think we're doing a ribbon cutting